unless the Puff plays in a very specific playstyle where they only look for back airs, and then it's
Oh
almost
my.
oh my god.
I thought about bringing up tilt rest, but I was like, that won't happen.
That won't happen, and yet it did.
Yeah. So I mean, Nair
that looked like a shield poke.
Nair auto cancel into up tilt into rest. Now you have to do it at a pretty low %. So going for that early gonna instill some fear in the Peach. Not to mention grabbing out of Peach's fair. So this is a strong start for 2Saint.
Definitely. Kzhu racking up a lot of damage though. You know, all things considered, if he takes that Nair, I mean, wasn't DI the greatest. If he takes a stock right here, he's back in it. So
for sure. I think punishing out some of 2Saint's Nairs is going to force 2Saint to play a little more safely, which he was doing, and Kalamazoo still caught him out.
He's like getting under him.
Yeah, and being directly under or kind of over Puff can be pretty good for you. Maybe not as good for Peach because Puff's up air, but certainly being under her, you know, you can trade with down air or anything. But yeah, there's the stock, and keeping the turnip on hand just in case you need to control, and I think that's influencing 2Saint too.
How is the turnip used in neutral this matchup? Because I know in some obviously in different matchups, Peach like wants a turnip more than in others. Ooh,
yeah.
Lucky that Parasol kind of clipped him there. But yeah, go ahead.
So I think in the Marth matchup, Peach usually wants to throw the turnip like right away, and so I think in this matchup, it kind of seems like Peach is going to hold the turnip a little bit more. Well, except for there, maybe that's the mix-up.
Yeah.
But Kzhu's been holding it, and I think the purpose of holding it is so you're trying to jump high, weave around the turnip, so there's no combo. Peach doesn't turnip and then hit you, and then Peach comes in with an aerial, which she can still do while holding a turnip. And that's what she's going to do. So, and 2Saint might try to rush down because he's like, oh, well, I don't want to deal with this turnip aerial mix-up because there's no turnip, and then Kalamazoo could just hit him right away. So that's kind of what we're looking at here.
And that's when Peach is going to go for that low float. Man, he's already evened it up.
Yep.
Holy cannoli. This is, I mean, yeah, this is, it feels like the momentum is actually just kind of in Kzu's side at this point because he hit a complete stock lead.
Yeah, I mean that was from that early up tilt rest, and there's just been so much neutral won by Kzhu, which is really what you need if you're going to win this matchup. Yeah, trade's going to be great for Peach there. So Peach is a character that's going to trade a lot, so it's going to benefit her.
That could have been cool. You see what we're for?
Yeah, almost a turnip aerial, and that's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Peach having these low lag on these float cancel aerials means that Kzhu can put out the aerial and then get the shield up in time. And if 2Saint wants to just pressure right there, that's gonna leave Kzhu in a chance to reposition again. So Kzu's either got to snipe him out of the air directly or try to do more direct pressure on the ground.
And I think it's funny. Oh man, that was a great man. He almost like full jumped ahead of him and chucked the turnip on top of him as he was rising. So he's not only getting under him when he baits 2Saint into the air, he's also like preempting him sometimes, which is really interesting. I also like how Kzhu, like when he gets him shielded, I like how you use the word pressure because it feels like I've always thought that one thing Puff is pretty weak at is honestly kind of out of shield, you know? Sometimes you just kind of have to roll and Kzhu gets on him with those float aerials. He is chasing him down. He's, kind of, sometimes it's a little bit of a read, but doing a really good job keeping the pressure on.
And that was such a close interaction there. The bear and fair nearly whiffing. I think if Peach lands the fair there, Puff's dead. Puff could get an edge guard from that back air. So really close interaction. And here's our chance to get an up air from Puff. Could be a kill. Weaves a little too far away. Doesn't want that trade. Wants to kind of maintain the lead going here. Here's a rollout. Never mind.
What? Yeah, he got a weak nair somehow. Maybe he just wanted to let the nair rip as early as possible. Because he could probably go for like a deep neutral to make sure he gets the stock. But then you're like, well, what if he launches with the rollout and someone takes me? I just got to put a hitbox out early so that doesn't happen. And Kzhu does close the stock out.
Yeah, and that stock closed because 2Saint was trying to get moves out as quick as possible. There it is again, dash attack up smash. Maybe he's trying to go for a bait, multiple hits of the down smash. I mean, they played such a tense position for so long. It's not uncommon for players who want to rush after a little bit of that because it's very hard to maintain that tension.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just psychologically.
Yep. Ooh, there's our dash attack. Maybe we'll see another up tilt rest attempt here, trying to bring something back. Low %.
Sure. Yeah.
There's our
almost
nair.
Feel like
there's our nair.
Yeah, that was super close.
The turnip drop, maybe that I don't know if that was intentional or just RNG, but either way, that was a save.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I never.
It's gonna be hard to combo into rest now. So, and they're on low stitch.
Oh, stitch. Oh man, that was, oh my god, this is a ton of damage. Hang on. Still got the Stitch though. And he had to chuck it, I guess.
There it goes. Yeah, I mean, at some point you just got to say the percent's not worth it. Because you could just get hit and drop it.
Yeah, and I think oh my god, 2Saint actually gets over bear here. Nice fastball there from Kzhu.
Uh-oh. Lot of concern, lot of rolls, a lot of air dodges by the platforms. We didn't auto-cancel that nair. You are seeing some nerves come out here late in the match. We're rolling in.
Dude, I love when the nerves go out. Oh, man. This is scary. All of the spacing is...
These forward smashes have not worked out for 2Saint. But you need one right now. And forward air, that's going to do it middle of the stage. I mean... Kalamazoo didn't just let it rip. He let the float hang there for a second, came down with the forward air. And again, such a tight position. 2Saint running in close to Kzhu and then barely missing is going to give Kzhu a chance to counter pressure a lot of times. So if he's not directly hitting, I think it puts him in a lot more of a vulnerable spot, which might have been why he was going for some of those up smashes earlier when he did whiff. But Kzhu was also knowing to sniff those out and wait. So I think when Puff is in that position where she has to land kind of close but not get a hit, it seems like it's really uncomfortable for her. So good job to Kzhu for playing around that.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like, at least with the way this match has been, and I kind of see it conceptually too. It does feel like when Puff's pressure kind of ends, you know, Puff gets on top of Peach, but like if he doesn't get the hit, it's sort of like, okay, got to reset to neutral a little bit. Whereas like Kzhu, if he ever catches 2Saint shielding, comes down with a float aerial, he really does kind of keep the pressure going. That's something Peach does seem to have in this matchup between these two characters.
And something else too probably is that if you hit Peach when she has a turnip, she has a quick turnip throw out of shield and a quick drop. I think some Peaches talked about like a Q drop or something a little while ago. We're just gonna pound, catch a full jump out of shield. Both characters will want a full jump out of pressure, so that is a good call out. But it is hard to time it because both characters will want to hold shield. So well played.
Right. And then you could like nair them if you just kind of throw a pound on top of their shield or something. Oh no!
A full hop rest. Oh, and there's Toad. Hello again. Trying to call up the rest.
Yeah, something was there. Not super duper sure. It is funny how, you know, with some characters, like, you know, if you're Fox there, it's like, all right, cool, well, you're dead. If you're Marth and they're at 30, you're like, cool, you're dead. But Peach has to get a little bit creative.
Switch, by the way.
A little funky. Yeah, wow, he kind of just threw it up.
Yeah, some Peaches really want to hold on to the Stitch. Some Peaches let it rip. Again, these forward smashes and even the dash attacks haven't worked so much for 2Saint. Stitch again. Hello, goodbye. We have it back. Yeah, that's the thing. In these matchups where you let Peach pull a lot of turnips, this is what can happen. I think this is why 2Saint was trying to rush down so much before.
This was, people used to complain about this with Armada. Like, oh, Armada pulls so many Stitches. But it's like, yeah, but it's because he gets to pull so many. Yeah. So, you know, even if the rate is the same, he's just pulling much more. But look, that being said, two in a stock is a little intense.
Is that it? No, okay, that was another one. I was about to lose my mind. That is 4 forward smashes, 4 forward smashes. None of them worked, but an up smash finally does. Maybe a bit of frustration coming out from 2Saint, not entirely sure.
Yeah. Frustration, again, desperation.
There's our whiff. There's Peach's pressure and getting a hit out of it. There's our hit rest.
Oh my god.
I think Peach can kill here. Well, let's pull another Stitch. Never mind.
Yeah, couldn't quite get down in time. That was crazy because he hit with the late part of the pound.
Yes.
If you hit with the strong part, like at the beginning, you have to go through the whole animation. You're never
almost another attempt and the up tilt. You can tell 2Saint, while he does try to rush to get back in, he also really knows how to play with the lead to try and get those rests. So really smart for him to go for that.
Yeah. I feel like he's good at minimizing or maximizing risk reward. Like he will go for those big haymakers, but hasn't been getting punished too hard for them.
And I will say Kzu's been getting back a lot when he's been off stage. I think if there's a reversal right there. I think maybe instead of back air, we opt for hitboxes that stay out a little longer, like forward air or something. Might serve a little better, not entirely sure. But Peach can float for 3 seconds while she is floating, and then she's also got a double jump, which is going to help. There's a lot of pressure on the whiff. There's going to be more pressure on the whiff. And yeah, so again, those very fast aerials. Peach gets true shield pressure coming out, where a lot of other characters are often minus on block, so that's going to let him absolutely eat up 2Saint shield and bring that lead back.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, hello.
Ooh. Yeah, that looked weird for a second.
Yeah, he was just vibing on the battlefield.
Yeah, Puff gets to do that. It's Puff's comfy down there.
Dot Eye is going to add a little bit more damage than a lot of other turnips. There's our up smash. 2Saint's actually been able to get a couple up smash kills. Lands down at a kind of unsafe spacing. Kzhu maybe not going for a full conversion off the nair pressure. 2Saint lets it rip. Why not? Hadn't done it for a while.
Yeah, because a lot of the time he'll go for like float nair, and you know, he's basically counting on the opponent respecting the fact that he's plus, so he'll go for another float nair, or he'll float past him to cover a roll or a wave dash. And 2Saint can make that call like, look, I know you're not going to try to stuff me with the jab. You want to keep the pressure going, so I'm just going to let this up smash rip. And depending on the percents, it can just be very worth it in terms of the risk reward.
2Saint also slowing the pace down a whole lot. Oh, just a little spin. Hello.
I love that move.
It is very cute. But yeah, 2Saint slowing the pace down a lot. Using the platforms, Battlefield does have quite high platforms. Hello, Stitch. And a very high top platform, higher than Dreamland. So 2Saint going to make the most use of it as possible now. Kzhu going to do a little bit of tech. Watch him coming down. Puff does have about 5 jumps in the air. And I think slowing the pace down here is going to help 2Saint because, oh my goodness.
Dude.
Out of nair?
Out of nair. Yeah, so that's just that's like exactly what we were talking about with the up smash, and that's just like the even harder, you know, version of that, which is like, okay, if you're really dedicated to this nair and then chase down my roll stuff, I'm just gonna let this rip and see what you do about it.
Yeah, and these are risks you can take when you're up, especially against Peach, because because even if Peach gets the kill there, you still got another full stock to work with, everything like that. So I mean, and then Peach often wants to come in right there, chase down your roll, maybe go for a grab, maybe even try for a shield break. Puff dies off a shield break. So yeah, it makes sense. But getting punished for it before, maybe thought they were finally going to be fine again because they played around shield a lot more. There's our nair up tilt. But yeah, great play from 2Saint. Again, really knows how to use that lead. So I think getting the lead is going to be really important in this matchup, which makes sense.
Agreed.
You know, Peach is going to have to win neutral so much to stay up already.
Right. Kzhu looks like he's gonna start. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're whiffing the aerials close to Peach, and that's gonna make things kind of scary. Peach with the turnip, holding it a little bit this time.
Yeah. Seeing if he can use it out of shield or something, can convert it into something. Yeah, he loves that full jump throw turnip. Really good at contesting. Just 2Saint kind of drifting in that spot above him. You're seeing 2Saint actually starting to use some more lingering hitboxes too, like nair fair. And that I think he kind of goes for those when Peach has the turnip in hand because they kind of just naturally deflect the turnip, you know, like in neutral.
Yeah.
I guess that's the theory.
It is much better to do that then, and so that opens up Peach to beat out Puff's aerials with nair, up air, or back air.
Right.
So Kzhu holding the turnip a little bit more is going to make him think about it. And now we're throwing a little bit earlier again. So, I mean, good stuff to Kzhu for kind of switching it up. We're seeing the aerials. Then there's always the full hop turnip throw, which is going to catch Puff if she moves away, or if she tries the full hop to get over grounded turnip throws. So, I mean, it's just, you know, good mix-up. And you can tell these guys are really thinking, but we're 2Saint thinking with one less stock now.
Yeah, big trade there. But there's the, drill up tilt. Up smash. Very nice.
Yeah, and that primarily worked because the last hit of drill did make Peach go into little flip animation. That's not always going to be the case, but that's what allowed that to convert. Ooh, grabbed right out of the aerial. 2Saint's got some crazy grabs this set where he just grabs Peach. He's just letting it rip. He's not afraid to let it rip.
Yeah, exactly. He's like really not down. He's really down to like when Peach is on top of him, but doesn't quite have a hitbox out. He's really down to try to like get something out faster and kind of just challenge.
Speaking of challenging, Kzhu did a phenomenal job of challenging 2Saint coming onto these platforms. They're being so much smaller. 2Saint wants a place to retreat, a place to reset, and Kzhu has done a phenomenal job calling 2Saint coming to the platforms a lot. You see him attacking there just a whole lot. So now, what has 2Saint done? He stayed away from the platforms. He hasn't jumped on them, so far in the last several seconds. And, that's going to allow Kzhu to control him more with his float cancel aerials on the ground. Back to the platform. Let's see if Kzu's going to control him there once again. So you notice Kzhu went for a turnip throw, then back to, oh my goodness, not again. Never mind what I was talking about. Dude. Absolutely incredible that he's going for this. That is so risky, especially when he wasn't even up. The back air was a little bit high on shield.
Well, how would you beat that? I felt like earlier Kzhu was doing a little bit more like, he'd kind of narrow his shield and then go for like down smash, which, will stuff it, I believe. You think that's kind of the best option if he wants to prevent 2Saint from going for stuff like that?
Oh my,
Ooh.
ambitious.
A little ambitious, yeah.
Yeah, about to say, wouldn't the up smash do a little more damage? I'm not sure though. Not a Peach player. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that would work. I think even if you jabbed, you could probably hit Puff on her startup, maybe, or at least you'd be safe. You could even just wait a moment, perhaps. Maybe you don't often want to do that because 2Saint often is just doing a lot of stuff out of shield.
Right.
If you space your grab, theoretically you'd be okay too, unless the Puff jumped into you. But 2Saint is willing to do that, so maybe that's not what you go for.
Yeah. He could like nair him and then back off, like literally just bait it out, you know. So.
Well, you could still be close.
That's certainly an option.
You could be close.
Yeah.
It's just her body that's a hitbox.
That's right. You don't have to back off too far. Trying to full jump that first full jump turnip throw again, trying to catch him above the platform.
Kzhu walling with back air. 2Saint finally comes in with his zone. Kzhu was a little bit predictable there. Oh, we're just gonna miss the ledge. Now what do we do? 2Saint had to do a bunch of jumps to get level with the edge there. And there's a high turnip throw. So again, 2Saint didn't want to be right below Kzhu because his moves would have lost. Peach going up. Little platform working out for 2Saint this time.
One more of those is gonna KO even at ground level. Nice job. Covering both the air dodge and getting a backer out after it.
3-second close, there it goes.
Wow.
And 2Saint would have been happy with his play there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You'll take anything when she's at 150.
So Peach had an air dodge. She also had an up B she could have used. Probably was looking for the air dodge just a little bit slow. Maybe even the early part of it got hit. That damage is big. We can look for a rest now if we wanted to. Hello, Stitch.
But another Stitch.
Oh, and we whiffed our grab. Barely wave dashed away in the shield. 2Saint doesn't react to it quite in time. Res! No res. Uh-oh, this is some damage. That's a lot of damage. 35%.
35, and he got to grab it again, which was big. But there it is. Finally, the threat is defused.
Yeah, but now without the lead changing. So now 2Saint might be a little more concerned about taking some big risks. Kzu's still willing to go and challenge after hitting an aerial on shield, so not showing any fear about any possible rest out of shield attempts.
Yeah, and he baited the shield grab right there, so looks like Kzu's got that on his mind too. He's thinking, all right, I'm gonna touch the shield, I'm gonna back off and see what happens. Because he knows 2Saint likes to push buttons there.
There was a grounded turnip throw that was covering, that encouraged 2Saint to go up, and then so Kzhu was reading ahead, cover the low profile, then cover you going up. I can't believe it. How does he keep hitting them?
Dude.
So again,
this is like, Well, I mean, I think this is basically the situation where it's like, okay, I think Kzu's playing a great game in neutral. I think his turnip conversion has been fantastic, but he is basically like, he's trying to big brain him on the pressure, and he's like kind of thinking that 2Saint's going to respect him. And 2Saint has definitely demonstrated he's not going to respect his plus frames, right? So he's just got to kind of like bait that stuff out. And the problem is, even if he's right 3 times or 4 times, if 2Saint's right once and gets a rest, it all goes out the window from an expected value perspective. So I think he's just got to account for that now,
Yeah, I mean, again, 2Saint wasn't giving it to him for a while. Kzhu stayed spaced for a little while, and he's like, okay, now he won't do it anymore. It's too late in the set, but he goes for it. And honestly, there is really some commitment to be said for that. And I think part of it too is Kzhu maybe could be doing lower aerials to be more plus. I think the aerials have been hitting a little bit high, and that gives 2Saint the frames to come out. I think that actually Nair could have maybe converted into rest there. Surprised 2Saint didn't go for it. Maybe showing a little bit of desire to play differently to get his rest back when he needs it.
Sure, yeah.
And we're on FD right now too, so this is going to be a stage where if both characters get launched, they're going to have a hard time getting back down. Also in Kzu's case, 2Saint's not going to be able to hide under a platform to have any turnips hit him. Oh, there's our forward smash finally connecting.
Yeah, not taking the stock quite yet. But the edge guard. Oh, those fast forwarders. Yeah, he's been getting a lot of mileage off those. Ooh. Denied. Back air has an awesome hitbox on it, I will say. Peaches. I mean, so
yes.
They just happen to be good.
Yeah. Nice back airs, they're called.
Nice back, that is the common parlance for them. It is kind of funny. Most characters just tend to have really big back ends. It's just
it's true.
Thing.
They're very beautiful.
Yeah.
And here we get to see 2Saint showing his off. Switching around, coming in with the forward air once to keep a constant hitbox out in case of the turnip rollout once again. And they waited. Kzhu did the aerial early based on the timing before. We are going to pop off with a little bit of a dash. She's probably feeling pretty good about herself. B moves very cool in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah, you don't always get to use all of them, you know? Toad, a little bit underused. Rollout, often underused, but apparently not in this set.
Now, again, this works especially well on FD, Final Destination. There are no platforms to go onto, so you will have to kind of deal with it, even though Peach does have a 3-second float and double jump.
Yeah, you can always kind of say to yourself, like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this and just go to the other side of the stage.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but, you know, I don't blame him. He was able to kill 2Saint the last time he went for one, so I might challenge there too, especially first off of the match. Doesn't feel too damning if you fail to, you know.
So 2Saint's doing, he's really pushing Kalamazoo towards the edge with these full hop nairs and then drifting backward at the end. Kzhu can't really challenge with a turnip, can't get on a platform and do anything about it. Well, there's our nair pressure. It was lower that time, actually. So I think that would have been safe against any type of out of shield rest thing. And then also the down smash, so that's going to help for pressure for later.
Yeah, and you're seeing him go for more of these like aerial down smashes, just options where it's like, all right, 2Saint, if you try to throw something out, you're gonna get stuffed, you're gonna take some damage. So,
well, now we're working our back air. The back air did not come out. I think it actually would have hit Kzhu, and so messing up our tech a little bit there. 2Saint also missed a turnaround grab earlier, so we're maybe seeing a little bit of tech skill flubs coming out on his end. And not what you need when you're down. But he's up in game, so he can afford this one if he needs to.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's true. Although you'd sure like to close it out if you can.
Sure. These matches are a grind, and they are close.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that is super true.
So you notice there when the down air was out, when Peach was kicking the air right there, that 2Saint was actually staying close but not quite able to hit. That's because Puff had to get right beside Peach there. So that's why they'll always be at these awkward angles from each other and not always able to hit. Very kind of common for both. So 2Saint got the angle he want, so Kzhu dropped. And we're just going to charge that up smash right in time for Kzhu to get over and hit him. Luckily for 2Saint, that wasn't the kill. So you can see Kzhu holding that turnip. Forward smash starting to connect. So we're seeing 2Saint finally figuring out the timing for that. Landing close didn't come down with an aerial, so he had more frames to get that out and didn't even get a trade. So really well spaced. I just really called Kalamazoo out. He wanted to hold the turnip and not throw it. I mean, well played.
Back to turnip in hand. Okay. Ooh. Oh my God.
So much damage.
Bro, 0 to 71 with the situational, bounced him into the turnip from the down smash and nared him out of it. Oh my God.
So yeah, if you hold down on down smash, even as Puff, you will take extra damage. And the reason he held down was because he's trying to fast fall. And so that's a lot of damage.
That's nasty. Gotta commend Kzhu, like, being ready to get the pickup on the down smash bounce off the turnip, too, because, like, I mean, maybe Peach mains are like, oh, yeah, that's, like, normal or whatever, but, I mean, I feel like that situation doesn't come up very often, and that was a great nair getting, again, being under 2Saint and just kind of scooping it.
Yeah, 2Saint really wanted to get extra pressure there, had Peach in a bit of an awkward spot, but Peach can often just do that nair out of shield and at least trade, and so Kzhu is happy to trade here. Up with good percent. Still a good percent, but again, the dare was directly over Puff, and that was not what 2Saint wanted, so that's what Kalamazoo got. So again, you can see how important these minute positions are.
Right.
Not able to convert dare into up smash. Oh, early nair. That's surprising. Oh, Dot Eye's going to give some extra shield damage. Oh, no.
And there it is again. Wow. That rollout, man.
She spins so fast. What will she do?
Yeah, well, it turns out only one thing.
Oh
my, okay.
Turnip save. Oh my, the turnip save again.
Really showing the value of having a turnip in hand.
Eat your veggies.
Eat your veggies, yeah. That is crazy. Ooh, the fact that he went for back of the, I almost wonder if that's a shield club. Really interesting.
And I will say, Kzhu, right. And you'll notice that Kzhu is throwing his turnips down. Sometimes he might do it there. There he goes. That's just to cover 2Saint coming in close and to make sure that if they want to jump away and do different pressure, then that opens up a different avenue for it. So you won't see it happen all the time, but it's kind of important to be aware of just that different option. And again, I'm surprised looking at back air right here, because back air is not going to be out for as long as forward air. Oh my goodness. Well played by
yeah.
Because like any trade there with a strong aerial is death, so.
That's right. I mean, this is do or die right now for both of these players. Oh, he turns
through the turnip the other way to turn around.
Oh my god.
That was smart, because back air was more likely to trade.
That's right. That's right. And what was so I also thought that was so neat because that's the first time he's even represented that option at all this whole set.
Yes. Yes.
Saving it for the moment he needed it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we're seeing the players go deeper into their bag of tricks here. And I mean, Kalamazoo throwing the turnip the other way, turning your body around. Back air's going to come out and be stronger for a little bit longer than Nair is, so that's going to give you a chance to trade. 2Saint, I believe, threw out a forward air, and so that's going to be a trade, and it's perfectly okay when Peach is up, like I was saying. Even if Peach had a little bit more damage, she was going to survive just fine, because I think it was weak hit that hit her. So that's going to be kill. So, I mean, well played, understanding of the situational awareness. 2Saint has, in a lot of tense situations, kind of rushed in more. I think Kalamazoo kind of played off that. Though 2Saint did start slowing it down. Starting to switch up his pace. Kalamazoo has just done he's kind of adapted back, and he's kind of willing to hold onto his turnip for longer because 2Saint's taking longer to come in. So you can kind of see that they're both really thinking about what the other person's doing. And I think in floaty matchups, characters that often aren't comboed as hard and take longer to recover and stuff, you have more time to think through your options in neutral like that.
Yeah, even from a spectator's point of view, or a commentator's point of view, it feels like we get to kind of talk about those little adaptations more in a set like this. They're highlighted more. There's more time between them, and sometimes they're incredibly important because, you can't just run away with the stocks in this kind of matchup because you can't combo them to death.
And now we're on Fountain, which is a stage that has platforms. They're often low, which is going to help Peach's down smash. But sometimes they're gone, which, I think the platform on the right is doing right now. Thank you, platform. Commentators bless
Yeah.
And so it could be a stage that's much smaller functionally than Final Destination. So how is this going to affect when one player moves the other one away, right? Or one player gets a little bit of stage position. Bomb!
Whoa. Yeah, this is always very scary. Yeah. A lot of Peaches will honestly just get rid of it because, it's so common that the explosion just takes out both characters. Really, really common that Peaches just explode when the bomb isn't playing for too long.
When the trade offer ain't right.
That's right.
There's our throw down. And then the down smash was a little bit too far away, so not multiple hits. So plus still going to have a pretty healthy shield there.
That's right. On the flip side, though, really hard to punish that when you block it at that range, especially as a slower jump squat character like Puff. Can't just wave dash at a shield and oh, I'm getting you now. But wow. Kzhu with the lead. And
that lead's going to be big. We can start trading, although not by too much. And there's our forward smash. 2Saint has dash attacked and now forward smashed on a lower float from Kzhu. I don't know if he's reading that or able to react to that a little bit. It's easier with dash attack because it's faster. There's the low float. Oh my goodness, looking for a roll there. Didn't get it the way he was looking for. But yeah, these lower floats are something that can be preyed upon. So Kzhu's got to be a little bit careful, but at the same time, I mean, they're a strong weapon. They allow for better shield pressure, so I don't think he can stop doing them.
Yeah, it feels like the philosophy is he kind of wants to do them, in particular when the Puff is already in the air. And then obviously, and by the way, this is a scary spot here for Kalamazoo. Nicely
so much damage. The lead has changed based on that edge guard. Peach can often take, oh my goodness, post crouch, mad good.
Oh no!
I don't know what that was supposed to be, I'll be honest with you, Toph. Maybe a turnip pull, but why are we running in and doing that?
Why are you running in and turnip pulling, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fat fingered the B button, maybe. No idea.
There's our dash attack again. Kalamazoo looks like he's a little less inclined to sit and shield. So 2Saint rush down going to kind of work a little more in his favor.
I almost wonder if it's Kzu's expecting 2Saint to go in the air, so he's I'm going to low float and get ready to throw an arrow lot underneath you when you full jump. And then 2Saint's but I'm not full jumping. And then he stays on the ground and does a ground option like the dash attack or something.
Probably a little bit of that, but it almost seems like Kalamazoo, I mean, I've been watching the last few seconds or so for his shield. It kind of just looks like he really doesn't want to deal with 2Saint on it anymore after some of the punish that happened before. So I think this is playing more to 2Saint's tempo, which just is him moving quickly. The shield is not staying up much at all, and I think being able to attack out of shield with these turnips was something that was really huge as a reversal or just opener for Kalamazoo. So
Right.
I'm curious what he's going to be able to do with this quicker tempo, because this is going to favor 2Saint, I think. If he's able to connect, he hit instead of a shield.
That's right. Down smash barely not taking the stock there. Kzhu's still able to get a ton of mileage off these turnips, but yeah, at this percent, it is going to be tricky to combo off of him to KO. Dot Eyes.
That could have killed.
A ton of damage. That definitely could have KO'd at this percent, yeah. That's like the second strongest turnip, right?
Yeah. It's like 15 or 18 damage. I'm not sure exactly what.
This is a large number. That's like a smash attack. The Stitch kind of eclipses the rest of them. Like, when you really stop to think about it. Ouch. That was nice. Okay, so back in the lead with that quick little combo.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And
that's huge.
The float was taken. Double jump and up B were still there. You heard Peach start up her double jump. But
Yeah,
she
you
didn't
heard
want
the
to get
little...
sniped. Yeah.
That's my, sounds like that, right? I think.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I loved it.
Thank you.
And so Kzhu really didn't want 2Saint to take his double jump with like a falling aerial, so he just read and went for an up B. 2Saint just hangs out there, doesn't go for an aggressive action despite being kind of quick a lot of the time. So I mean,
Yeah.
well played. Just an unfortunate situation for Kalamazoo by the edge, taking some more damage, getting a lot of power shield. Seems like he's only shielding at the last moment.
Yeah. For what it's worth, Kalamazoo, with his back to the wall, actually is doing... Oh, it does the Stitch!
Bye, Stitch.
I don't know if... I never know if this is something they're doing on purpose. I love that Kzhu immediately turns his back to Puff, faces right, which is the direction that kind of masks... Oh my god, I thought that... You thought that might have been the best, huh? Yeah. I'm just wondering, I feel like going for it makes sense there at the stock. But...
Well, it didn't have too much percent at the time, so maybe just wanted to keep the lead, make Kzhu feel it a little bit more. We hit a down smash. We'll take all the damage we can get. Kzu's really got to make something come back here. Now he's going to hold shield a little bit. Barely gets clipped coming out. And again, the small stage, I think that might have been kill, but we're going to extend this just a little bit farther. Whole stock lead, might have held down. It's going to be tough to come back. Put out the back air. That's the stock. I mean, again, I feel like the stage played a massive part in how all of that went. I really feel like 2Saint being able to just play his tempo. Kzhu couldn't back up. Platforms getting in the way of turnips, making Kzhu not even want to shield, because even if he backs up, like, he's even more cornered. He doesn't have anywhere else to go, unlike on Pokemon Stadium, unlike on Final Destination.